How's it going, everybody? It is Friday, May 27th, 2022. How's everybody doing today? It's finally Friday. It's been a long, long week. Finally come to a end. Well, for most people, it's a long weekend for most people. Unless you're like me and you work in the healthcare industry, it's not a long weekend for you. You still got to work on Monday. But hey, it's besides the point. That's my own problem. We're here to talk about the San Francisco 49ers. We're here to talk about Deebo Samuel. We're here to talk about anything else you want to talk about. But first and foremost, let's talk about Deebo Samuel, shall we? So today, there was a little bit of a I guess controversy with Deebo Samuel. Maybe if that's what you want to call it. I wouldn't say controversy, but there was some Deebo tea out there. So yesterday he was at the Warriors game, and he came back to the Bay. He was out in Dallas watching the Warriors, and then he came back to San Jose. He lives here during the season. He trains in other places, but this is where he lives in San Jose. He works for the San Francisco 49ers, and they play in Santa Clara. So I'm sure he has a place close enough to the stadium. But he's not here for OTAs. He told us already. We already know he's not coming in for OTAs, whatever. Mandatory minicamp, everybody expects him to be there, whatever the case is. But he was here for the game, for the Warriors game. Bay Area, the players are hyped. It's the big, thing to do right now. If you're a celebrity, you want to be at this game, right? Of course, George Kittle was there, Kyle Juszczyk, Oren Burks was there, Jason Verrett, and Deebo Samuel was there. And Deebo's been sitting courtside at most of these games, so of course he was at the game. Today he is leaving the Bay because again he trains in other places. He goes to Miami sometimes, Dallas, wherever. He trains in other places. He has family in South Carolina where he's from, so he could be going down there wherever the case is. Who cares where he's going? He's a grown man. He can do whatever he wants. He can live his life. But today he was at the airport and people were sneaking pictures of him, being fans, being stalkers really, and taking some pictures. And of course, what they do is they send it to people like, um, you know, 49er pages like myself, and they hope to get, the pic posted and make a story out of it, and people can assume things. As I get tagged a lot. I get people that tag me like, oh look, this guy was here, Dick Bosa was here, George Kittle was here. Post this picture or whatever. I don't know. I feel like that's weird. If the guy's at the airport, let him live, let him breathe, let him do his thing. Of course, he's an athlete in the public spotlight, and I know people are gonna be like, "Oh, he's an athlete. He brings it upon himself." I mean, there's a time and a place. If you go up to an athlete and you talk to him and you have a conversation and you take a picture, then yeah, that's cool. That's cool. But if you're just hanging around the corner and you're like TMZ and you're just trying to get this cool picture of a guy and then flex on everybody. Oh, look, I saw Debo Sam. I mean, that's to me is what you're doing. Like, yeah, okay, everybody wants to know what Debo's doing because he made a trade request a couple months back, and the whole drama that played out over the last couple months and couple weeks. We all know what happened, but I mean, everybody wants to know what Debo's doing. What's his next move? Where's he going? But it's getting to the point to me where it's like, it feels like people are stalking him. I don't know. That's just the vibe I got. It was kind of weird. So he went on Instagram today on his story, and of course, he talked about how, he thinks it's weird that people are trying to sneak a picture and, they're going to just send it to blogs to post it. And that's what people do. They send it to people like, Instagram pages like myself and hope to get it posted. Or people will post it and hopefully it blows up and it goes viral. They want, the likes and the views and stuff that it gets. It gets engagement. That's content these days. In the off season, literally anything that you post is that the players are up to is content. We post what the players are doing. Sometimes they're out at an event, they're at the Warriors game. It's cool to see what they're up to, living their life. We like to follow the players. But to post just a random, I think what he's getting at is you're just randomly at an airport taking pictures of him without him being acknowledged. It's like TMZ. So, I don't know. I think that's what he was talking about. Message retracted. I don't see your message, Isaiah. So maybe you can I'll put it back on there so we can take a look and see what you said. But I don't know what you guys think about the whole situation. But again, I do think that people are saying. I kind of take it from Debo's side. Is what I'm saying is a lot of people are saying, oh, he's being childish. He's in the hot human spotlight. He's an athlete. He should know that these things are coming. People are going to feed off of him and what else did I say? People are saying he's childish. People are saying he should know that he's in the public spotlight and he's an athlete. He comes with the territory. I don't know. I just don't see it that way. Let the man breathe. You don't have to track every move. Um, you know, you don't have to track every move of this guy. Oh yeah, you're disappointing how the fan base is treating this. I agree, man. Like, I don't know. What are we gonna start taking pictures of what he's eating? Are we gonna start taking pictures of what when he goes to the bathroom? Like I've met athletes in the airport before. It's pretty cool. You know, you talk to them and I engage them, and if I engage them and take a picture with them, then yeah, maybe I'll take the post and put it on my social media and I'll tag them. But I don't know if you're just like standing around randomly taking pictures. He wants some freedom, man. He's always in the spotlight. Of course, it comes with the territory, but these guys are always in the limelight. Sometimes just let them live their lives. You know, it's kind of weird, man. And that's probably why a lot of athletes charge for pictures or charge for autographs. Because if you want to kind of go in there and get a part of their life, I mean, maybe you should pay for him. He is an athlete. It is because what a lot of these people do is they take pictures of these athletes and then they go sell it. They sell it to a TMZ or they sell it on eBay. Like that's the thing, man. People realize that they can make money off these athletes, or they put it on a shirt and they're making money off these people and going live and putting on your Instagram or whatever. You're making content and eventually you can make money off. You can monetize off that. So I think that too. People don't see that part of it is these athletes they get paid a lot of money, but at the same time, if you're going to use their name and likeness and you're going to monetize off of that, they might feel a certain way. And I don't think everybody sees that. Again, I get it. We post a lot of stuff of what these players are doing. We make a big spectacle of when a player's in a trade situation. Like, oh my God, what's his next move? What's his next move? I'm guilty of it myself. I posted a lot of Deebo stuff. What's he doing? What's he saying? What's his on his story? What's the T? Oh, what's the tweet he's saying? Is it a subliminal tweet? Is it one of those cryptic tweets? What is he saying? I do it all the time. But at the same time, like, there's a time and a place. And I think he's fed up. Let the man breathe, let the man breathe. And it's funny because people are now mad at Deebo for letting him speak, for him speaking his mind. He's just out there speaking his mind on the situation. He's out there saying, like, it's weird that fans are taking pictures of me and they want to post it, and that's his MO. He can say what he wants. Like, we all have an opinion. That's his opinion. And I don't think he's being childish. I don't think he's being dramatic. I don't know. I see it from a different perspective than I get other people. It's just weird to me, and I agree with Debo. So let's play the video clip.
It's funny that people think they sneaking photos of you when you staring at them. Like people in the airport be so weird, and they be so quick to send it to whoever and whoever they can post it. Like, yes, I'm in San Jose Airport. What's next? And another funny thing, y'all for high behind fake page is trying to be gangster. You're not living like that, my boy.
Oh man, that's funny. And then he says the only sneaking. So then he posts again. He made a story post after that video, and he says they only sneaking so they can send to blogs. Oh, Debo is here, coming here or there. LOL. It's true because a lot of times when they see him, I get messages, I get DMs. Yo, Raj, yo, Raj. Oh my God, Debo, he's here, he's here, he's here, he's. And they want me to post it. And like sometimes it's cool, and you see the news, and you're like, oh my God, Debo's here. Like yesterday, he was at a clothing store. Let me get the tag of the place he was at. These guys are cool. I talked to him on the DMs. These guys from Sego X Studio. It's a merchandise company here in San Jose. Cool guys. I finally talked to him yesterday because I posted the picture. They tagged me and they say, hey, can you share this to your page at some point? And when I finally got to my message, it's like, sure, yeah, this is cool. Debo's in the Bay. They wanted the exposure, of course. And a lot of people always ask me, hey, can you shout me out? Can you do this? And sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I can't shout everybody out. But this was cool. I saw Deebo was there. He's a trending topic, of course. I saw the opportunity. I was like, okay, this is cool. The fans want to know where Deebo's at. He is in the Bay. And then I credit him with the photo credits. And then they reposted in their story. And then apparently at the game, Deebo was wearing their new hat. And then they reposted my video on their story saying that Deebo's wearing their new hat. So that is one way of doing it. You provide some content in a promotion for them. They kind of promote your page. So that's kind of what I usually do with, when I post these kind of things. That's kind of the behind the scenes thing. It's pretty cool. And sometimes I get free merch out of it, or sometimes I get, a new follower, or not only that, but you get a connection. And now I have a connection with these guys we talk, and if there's any opportunities for me to help them, I will. If there's any opportunities for them to help me, they will. So it's cool. That's how you network. That's social media, and I've been doing this for a long time. So that was cool. And we posted the picture. He was at this place. These guys here, they're cool guys. And again, he wore their merch yesterday, and I was looking at their page, so I followed him yesterday, and he's wore merch before many times actually. In one of the games, he wore a whole outfit that was designed by them. So now I didn't realize that Deebo is cool with these guys. So, anyways, he's back in the Bay, and that was cool. And that was that, right? So, and then today he was just basically saying that people are at the airport taking pictures of him because he's leaving. So that's his prerogative. Let him do what he needs to do. If he's at a cool place and he's advertising things, since he posted in his story that he was at that place, so obviously he was promoting his friends at their merchandise store, and that was pretty cool merch. So I think that was a whole different situation than what he's talking about today. Is he's at the airport, he just wants to be in peace, and people are sneaking pictures to send it to people. Again, people will send me the same messages, and it'll just be random people. Yo, Raj, oh yeah, Debo's here at this place, or he's here at yada da da da. So it's just funny to see people, and everybody reacts differently. But the comments are crazy on this post. So let me pull up this post again of the video. The comments in this post are crazy. There's 300 posts. So my man Wayne Breezy, he had a good point. He says, "Just ask." That's my motto. Not that I think of it, I hate sneaky mother suckers too. He goes, "Now that I think of it, I hate sneaky mother suckers too." And I said, "Yeah, just ask. Don't be afraid, right?" And then he goes, "You have to be bold enough to ask an athlete if they want a picture." So, and I think that's what I'm trying to say is, if you see an athlete and you want to interact with them, go up to them. Don't be afraid. Some of them might be a dick. Reality. Some people don't want to be bothered. Some of them might be cool. I've met many athletes, and some of them are so cool, man. And they're like, "Oh man, yo, what's up, man?" And they have a great conversation with you. Some of them don't want to be bothered. And that's their MO. Like sometimes people come up to me at football games, and I'm not saying I'm anywhere near Deebo status, but it's cool. Like people notice me, and they come up to me, and I say what's up, and I say hi. We take pictures. But there has been times where I've been tagged in a picture on a story. It's like someone sees me from afar, and they take a picture, and I was like, he could have came up to me, But it's just weird, I feel that's like kind of like a stalker, you know what I mean? But it is what it is. Everybody handles the situation different, and everybody's different in public situation. Some people don't like it. Again, I know Debo's in the public spotlight, but to me that feels like TMZ type um, kind of stuff. So, you know, PFF reported that Trey Lance had his best practice yesterday. We'll talk about that too. I just kind of want to wrap a bow upon this situation because again, Deebo did come out. We're all waiting on what's going to happen with Deebo. Again, we can't sit here and speculate. What happens is, and this is the point of this whole situation, when you post a picture like that, or you talk about a situation like that, when a just a random ass picture of a guy at the grocery store, or a guy's in Dallas at the grocery store, or the guy's in Miami hanging out with this player, or like Debo and CD Lamb, they're hanging out together. People start speculating, the wheels start turning in people's minds, and people start instigating. And I think that's what he's saying. He goes, people are going to write false narratives, and that's what the whole situation has been this whole offseason is people have put words in Debo's mouth. People have guessed. They've made assumptions. Ian Rappaport, Adam Schefter, they're going to look at this. They're going to say, these are the tea leaves. Oh, it means this. It means this. Because people want to be predictive in nature in sports media, and they just come up with their theories and stuff like that. So that's what I think Debo is upset is people are now going to assume, people are going to assume what his move is. What's his next move? How does his stay in Dallas? He was in Dallas last week. Does that mean he doesn't want to be with the Niners? Like people make stuff like you should see the stuff on Twitter that some people write. Like, oh my God, Debo doesn't want to be on the team anymore. He doesn't want to be on the team. He's leaving San Jose. Did he tell you that? Are you are you a matter of fact with that? Do you know that? Do you know that for a fact? Did Debo tell you that? He didn't. He hasn't said anything. He really hasn't said much. He's been quiet. Let him go to the airport. That's all it is. At the bottom line, the end of the day, let Debo go to the airport. It is what it is, though. Everybody's going to have their opinion on the take. A lot of people were mad at Debo. Again, some of the comments, I want to pull up some of these comments. Deebo is really acting like he's new to this. Um, let's see. It says that's the part of being a celebrity. People are going to be menaces all up in their businesses. LOL. I just flat out ask them. LOL. But then again, I never fly into San Jose. Just SFO. This fool has the worst attitude. Corny is what one person said. That some guy says this person's worried about everything but football. LMAO. Imagine being a millionaire in the NFL worried about a squeaker on a keyboard. Bro, you're a famous NFL player. Of course they're taking pics. You know, just crazy stuff, man. And then this guy, he made a joke. No, Deebo, I want pictures of you buying Skittles next. Why do players seem so testy this season? If he's gone, he's gone. Until then, I'm not paying attention to any of this. That's a good, a good way to look at it. Um, this guy says, didn't realize how soft this dude was until the offseason. So, I mean, people are just hating on the guy, which is, you know, because at the end of the season, if he's still on the team and he balls out, these same people are going to be praising him. I'm going to keep a buck with you. They are. So, I don't know. They do give up their privacy a lot, right? When you're out in publicly. Unfortunately, that's the sports world we live in. They give up their privacy. They don't have any. But it's weird, man. I think that would be hard for me to deal with if I didn't have my privacy. And that is something that athletes deal with. Some people deal with it different than others. But I don't think Debo is wrong in acting and saying how he feels on the subject. Everybody has feelings. Everybody has an opinion. You may not agree with what Debo says, but this is his opinion, and he thinks it's weird. And I agree with him. I think it's fan behavior, but that's me. That's me. Whatever. My man Niner by Nature says if Debo was reported in Rome, they will think he's gonna sign there for a sports team. Yeah. Oh, is he signing with the Rome football team and not American football? He's signing a contract to play soccer. Dude, 100%. People make stuff up. My man Isaiah Adams makes a great point, a great comment. He says people were calling him a diva just for asking for some privacy. Can't believe we got people who think it's accessible just to stalk people. That right there, 100%. That's the point of the day, right there. A beautiful point, my man Isaiah. That's exactly it. He just wants some privacy. It's not acceptable to stalk people, I think, is what we're getting at. And I 100% agree with you, Isaiah. That is a great comment. Right there. He just wants some privacy. And I get it. He's a pro athlete, and it's going to be hard to get privacy because you're always in the spotlight. But does he not deserve privacy? Yeah, man. If he's on an airport boarding a plane, let the man go and board the plane. That's it. That's it. I could sit here and talk about this all day, but we're going to go in circles and say the same things. Again, that's it. Debo just wants some privacy, and he doesn't want people to instigate and put words in his mouth and get clout off his name, basically. And that's what people are doing. I mean, of course, I've posted a lot of stuff on Debo, but I don't sit there and instigate and think what his next move. You know, you gotta at some point you follow the tea leaves a little, and then you can kind of speculate and you can assume things. But again, once you start assuming, that makes an ass out of you and me. Anybody ever tell you that one? If you start assuming things, it does make you look silly because if you're wrong, oh boy, you're bad. If you're right, pat yourself on the back and take that gold star. But you know, it is what it is. Um, my man Niner by Nature says if Debo went off on the stalker, he would have been in the wrong because technically he has a lot. That's a good point. If he would have went off and he would have said something, then it would have been in the media. Then we would have had a whole story. Oh, Debo's unprofessional. He's unprofessional. That's such a good point, Niner by Nature. That if Debo would have went off on a dude, then we got another story, and then it's just bizarre, man. So he doesn't even need to have like that interaction. He's just telling people, "Leave me alone. This is my space. This is my personal space. I'm at the airport, bro. Leave me alone. Leave me alone." Because if he would have went up to that sucker and said something to him or her, whoever it was, bro, they would have straight told security. There would have been a situation on hand, and we'd have a lot to post about and a lot to talk about. A lot more to talk about. And we don't want to be talking about anything negative with Debo. We've already dealt with this situation at a large amount. It's just been crazy this whole off season, man. Let it be. Can we have one day where there's no drama? Probably not, because we're San Francisco 49er fans, and that's what we thrive on. It's a dramatic franchise. There's some drama out there, boy. It's like a soap opera, and I love soap operas, man. I'm a Taurus. I swear, I hate it. I hate the fact that I love this like juicy drama so much. Because sometimes I'm like, oh man, this is gonna make good content, but I hate it at the same time. So yeah, my man Sacktown Izzy says we literally have daily drama, literally daily drama, daily. My man, hey Peter Parker says Debo's attitude and actions during this don't mix with how faithful Niner fans are. I mean, on a part of me was like, you don't want to be here. We'll grant your wish. That's a good spin. Let's talk about that, my man. Hey Peter Parker, what's up, my man? Appreciate all the support you've given me over the time. I think a lot of fans feel that way. A lot of fans feel that Debo doesn't want to be here, right? And they're saying, okay, if you don't want to be here, we'll grant your wish. Because I've heard this. You're not the first person to say this. A lot of fans have said this. They've said, I don't think Debo wants to be here. I don't think Debo wants to be here. Again, I don't. I think that's just an assumption. Again, that's why all this stuff out there when you post these things, it's like yesterday when Debo was back in the Bay. Well, we talked about that merch site that posted him up, right? The clothing company, and everybody was happy. Oh, Debo's in the Bay. He's in the Bay. Oh, he wants to be here, right? And then he posts that he's at the Warriors game, right? Oh, he's happy. He's happy. But then if people started reading his body language, oh, Debo didn't look happy. So then people started assuming, oh, he doesn't want to be here. And then they said, why is Debo sitting with Jason Verrett and not with Kittle? And then why is he sitting separate from his teammates? And then they start assuming things again. And that's what the whole offseason was. And I think he's just, like I said, frustrated because people sit here and they make those assumptions of saying, oh, okay, Debo doesn't want to be part of the team because he's not sitting with George Kittle. Bro, the man had courtside tickets. You think I would pass up courts? You think you would pass up courtside tickets? You got courtside seats. That's the best seat in the house, and he's been sitting courtside the whole series, bro. He wants to talk. He wants to see the players. He wants to get some love from the players after the game. He wants to dap up Draymond. He wants to go dap up Steph Curry, Clay. He wants to talk to these players after the game. You sit courtside, you get a better chance. And then the spotlight's on you. The cameras are going to be on you. The TV is going to show the picture of, oh, Debo's in the stands. Of course, they show it for other players, but it's super cool and it's a different vibe when you're courtside, man. But a lot of comments I saw last night, people were like, oh, Debo doesn't want to be with. Look, he's sitting away from George Kittle. Right? He doesn't have to hang out with the players every day. If George Kittle's going to walk his dog, does Debo have to be there? No, he doesn't. Like, they could do things on their own accord. They don't always have to be around each other. But it's crazy. You would see the fans. They think that, oh, because Debo's not sitting with George Kittle last night, there's tension. I literally saw those comments, and I was like, "Are you kidding? Are you kidding me?" The man had courtside tickets. I would love to have courtside tickets to a NBA Finals, a Western Conference Finals. Holy moly! Holy moly! Do the Niners give the players advice on how to deal with the media, the fans? Yeah, there is like a sports psychology to this. I did take a sports psychology class way back in the day. Back in the day, I'm an old dude. I don't know if y'all know, but I might look a little young to y'all. I'm an old ass dude. So back in the day, when I was an undergrad, man, just piled the dust off the years. I remember taking a sports psychology class, and they did say there was like, and I took a couple courses into it. I kind of went further into it, and they did say that there are like people specialize on the team. And again, this was years ago. I'm sure it evolved into social media um, managers and people like that that handle this situation. There are people on the team that help with, the media, social media in general, and just those types of things and how to handle these things. But of course, every player is differently, and you can't tell someone how to express their feelings. There's people that help kind of manage this and kind of coach them. It's like a coach, basically, like a media coach. It's basically what it is. And they tell you like guidelines, expectations. There's classes that they go like when the players first step on to a team, like the rookies when they're in OTAs and stuff like that. Part of those early days, there's like actually classes where they have to go and learn, and they sit back and say, hey, look, you're in the NFL. There's gonna be these vices. There's gonna be these things, and they teach them these things. They go over all this stuff. But again, you can listen to that stuff all you want, but as a person, it doesn't change how you're gonna react to things, and emotions get involved. That's the thing. We get emotions involved in everything, and that changes anything. Like you can go into counseling, right? Like I've been in different counseling things. I'm sure some of you guys have. And even though the therapist or the counselor or the coach or the life coach or whatever, they tell you something, do you always listen to that? Not always. Not always, right? Not always. So, but again, I think people saying that he doesn't want to be here is just it's another speculation. Like people are putting words in Deebo's mouth. He's never, ever actually said that he didn't want to be here. We know that he has requested a trade, but I have never heard the word that he doesn't want to be here. But my man Niner by nature says part of it is maybe the fans, and if he does it, if we're gonna walk down that line and say he doesn't want to be here, and you want to say it's because of the fans, maybe so, maybe so. Hopefully, we get some words from him eventually with the press conference. I want to see eventually down the line, but right now it's all speculation. And I'm gonna sit here and say that I think things will get worked out. But man, people are emotional. My man, me grandma fell says Deebo Samuel. I don't know if it's Deebo Samuel. People again are just throwing that term out there. They're putting words in his mouth, and they're upset at him. Maybe the fans are divas too. Maybe the fans, there's a mic drop, are divas too. My mic got so mad at me for how emotional I was that it fell. Per a source. Oh, by the way, I'm getting a MacBook this weekend, and I'm excited because I know my quality is kind of trash right now, but we're working on it, baby. We are going to get a MacBook Pro this weekend, and it's going to be a beautiful thing. So you'll actually get to see me in a little bit better resolution. Maybe that's not a good thing. I don't know. Maybe I should stay this bad quality. Yeah, I don't know. You guys are going to see my ugly face a little bit clearer now. I will be getting a MacBook, so we'll see. Um, anyways, anyways, oh man, with this bad off season, we better bring that ship home. Peter Parker, 100%. This has been a off season for the ages, for the ages. A dramatic off season. We better get a championship out of this, man. You are absolutely. We better get a Super Bowl out of this damn crazy off season. Oh my god. Oh my god. We better. Anyways, man, that's enough about Deebo. We can sit here again, talk about it all day. I could sit here and do this all day, but let's shift gears. What do you guys want to talk about? I love to open it up to you guys and ask some questions. I do have a time limit today, so I have to kind of cut this short. We'll give you 10 more minutes, and then we'll get into 10 more minutes. Give me some questions. We'll go off on it, and then I got to bounce. I got to go pick up my daughter. She had a crazy day today. It was her last day, technically last day. She has a few days next week, just like basic stuff of 8th grade, and she'll be graduating 8th grade next week. And they were at Great America theme park, so the 8th graders got to go to a theme park. So got to go pick her up from all that. So she's probably gonna be hyped up today. So anyways, let's talk about some other stuff here. Can I break dance? I can. I'm not going to right now. I'll do that another day. Maybe we'll do a whole live stream of me breakdance. Maybe I'll do a live stream of me breakdancing, but not today. Talk about other 49ers, and that's what we want to do. The PFF report on Trey Lance. Let's talk about the PFF report on Trey Lance. Let's pull that up. Let's pull that up right now because that is a great thing to talk about. Let's see. Let's pull that up so we can get some talk going about Trey Lance. All right. So Trey Lance. So on PFF, Doug Kyed, this guy right here, Doug Kyed, giving you a plug right now. You're welcome. Doug Kyed, an NFL reporter on PFF, said this about Trey Lance. He says, Trey Lance has impressed people within the organization so far this spring, and the team feels he's already shown progress early in organized team activities. Thursday was believed to be his best practice of the offseason. They've had 3 OTA practices so far. Thursday was his best. On Tuesday, when the media was there and they actually got to see him, they were impressed. So, and they said that was like an amazing practice. So if Thursday was better than Tuesday, which left the media pretty impressed, Trey Lance, baby, it's Trey Lance season is to the moon. To the moon, Trey Lance season. For all the people that said he's underwhelming, they need to read this report because he might now be overwhelming. If you actually believe that nonsense that he was underwhelming, go read this, because I'm telling you, he's probably overwhelming. He's not underwhelming, he's overwhelming. You love to hear it. And that's what I think. And that's exactly what I think is that Trey Lance is going to continue to get better and get better and get better and get better. That's what he needs. George Kittle said it. So many people have said it. Trey Lance just needs the reps. He needs the reps. That's it. Once the kid gets the reps and he gets himself comfortable in the offense and he gets the installments and he figures out how to do X, Y, Z, he's going to get better. And it'll take him time to become an elite player and be the best version of himself and reach his full potential. But he's only going to get better with the more reps. So I love to hear that he's already had his best practice within 3 days of OTAs. That's 3 days. Can you imagine how much improvement? Can you imagine how much better he's going to be as he keeps going through these practices? And you can see he just looked more confident in the clips that the media has shown. He just looks like he's a more confident quarterback. And we've talked about this before. Last year he had the finger injury. This year he says he has no issues with his finger, and now he's at this point where he feels like he's ready to go. He's not limited by that finger, and I think that really did limit him. Maybe he was scared. Maybe he was worried because you have the pressure of I gotta keep myself ready. I gotta keep training. I gotta be ready in case my numbers call. I don't want to tell him I can't play. I don't want to ruin my opportunity. Because what if he would have got the opportunity last year? When Jimmy gets hurt and Trey Lance's numbers called, and he's like, I can't play. I'm not ready. My finger hurts. You kind of have to suck it up and say, "Fuck, I gotta take my opportunity." No matter how ready you may feel, or no matter how injured you may be, you have to take that opportunity and learn and take the lumps. So I think Trey Lance this year is in a much better place, a much better space, and a much better mental framework to operate. And I'm excited for him. I'm excited for him. So hyped, man. I'm so hyped for the guy. I love Trey Lance, and I think this is great to hear positive. Like, we've heard nothing but positive. We've heard nothing but positive over the last week. And this is such a change from this whole offseason. I love to hear it. I love to see it. I cannot wait for a week until we get more positives, because this whole offseason was just like slander on Trey. It was like Trey Lance slander. Why? And I'm living for the anti Trey Lance slander. I love it. So let's take some more of these questions. Um, do you think they'll trade Jimmy or release him? I think they want to trade him. I think they keep saying they want to trade him, but I don't know if they're going to find a trade partner because of the shoulder surgery. It really comes down to training camp, which they've said. They've said training camp is kind of the big tell-all. Will Jimmy be able to throw? Will he be able to kind of show his abilities? He can play in the system. He's been in there before. Will he be able to throw? If he can throw and a team gets desperate, like what if another team has a quarterback that gets injured in training camp? It happens all the time. And if Jimmy can throw, they'll reach out. John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan, yo, hey. I heard you had an injured quarterback. Guess what? We have Jimmy Garoppolo. He's throwing. You want to see it? Look, we got the film. Oh, look. Oh, okay. He's healthy. Yeah, we'll take Jimmy Garoppolo. It all depends on how healthy he is. If I had to bet, if I had to guess, gun to my head, Trey Lance and Jimmy Garoppolo will both be on the roster this offseason. Or this season, sorry, not just offseason, through the season. I think they're not going to find a partner to trade with Jimmy. I just don't see it. The surgery threw a wrench in the plans. We've talked about this many times. But if he can throw and a team absolutely desperately needs a quarterback around training camp time, they're trading him. I don't think they cut him. I don't think they cut him because Jimmy G, they know they have a backup plan. Because if Kyle Shanahan doesn't win games, and if Trey Lance gets hurt or something happens along the way, which I don't think there's going to be any problems with how Trey Lance plays, I think he's going to do great. I think he's going to start, and they're going to win a lot of games, and he's going to be great, and he's going to get better as the season goes. But if he gets hurt, now you got Nate Sudfeld and Brock Purdy as your backups. I don't know if they're going to be a quarterback that could come in and win games. We know Jimmy can win games in this system because he knows how to manage the system, and the team knows they know how to rally around him and win games despite of his flaws at times. I think they know, okay, Jimmy limits us in here in this areas, but the team can still win games. When Jimmy's in there, they've won games, but it's a team effort, right? And they know how to kind of manage the game when Jimmy's in there. The offense works a certain way. Defense is going to be great no matter what. And I think that if push comes to shove, they'll keep Jimmy on the roster. And if he has to come in and play because of an injury, I think Kyle Shanahan in his mind knows, okay, we can stay afloat and win games at least. It'll be an expensive backup, but this is his last season with the team. And after that, he gone. He gone. He gone. But I think, and the thing with Alex Smith wasn't Mahomes. So I think the whole issue there is the surgery. That's literally it. If Jimmy didn't have this surgery, I think he would have been shipped out already. But the surgery, I honestly think that is the issue that kept Jimmy on the nine. I think that's it. That's really it. And Kyle, he's gonna sit there and say, hey, okay, if Jimmy's healthy and we can't get rid of him, at least we know. At least we know we got a guy that can win games with us as a backup. It's expensive backup. Don't get me wrong. He definitely would be an expensive backup. But I think Kyle knows if we can't get rid of him, at least we have a good plan B. Because if they don't win games, if the Niners have a shit season and they don't win games, guess who's on the hot seat? Kyle Shanahan might be on the hot seat, or John Lynch, one of the two. But most likely Kyle Shanahan. But Kyle can use the excuse of, oh, well, Trey got hurt, or Trey's still young. Maybe he wasn't ready. Then he has that excuse of, oh, we still are only on the experimental phase of Trey Lance. So he does have a built-in excuse to buy him sometime. But if they don't win games, Kyle Shanahan is on El Caliente seat. He is. He is. So, my man Niner by Nature says we would rather pay Jimmy $25 million for. I know it sounds crazy, but that's just me reading how this team operates. They are crazy. You best believe this team would do that, Niner by Nature, because look at all the other stuff they do. It's drama. We will have more drama and more fuel for 49ers Twitter to go off. I'm telling you, it's crazy to me. It is definitely crazy that they would keep this man for $25 million as backup. But to Kyle Shanahan, he's kept them all this time. Why not go for one more season? That's how this team is. They are sometimes the most stubborn team, and they're crazy. It makes no sense to us sometimes, the things they do, but I again, that's my take. That's my bold take, that they would keep both guys on the roster. If they can't trade them, they'd say, fuck it, we'll keep them. It's crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy. But I hope that Jimmy shoulder heals, and I wish him the best, and I hope he gets traded, because I think the whole point of this is, the reason I got nothing against Jimmy. I think he's been great. He's a class act, hell of a leader. He's helped change the culture. I got respect for Jimmy Garoppolo. He's handled the media well, really well, and I got respect for the guy. But it's the Trey Lance era. It's the Young Bucks time. They traded a lot to get him. You need to give him the keys and don't give him any distractions. You need to give him the 100% full confidence, full vote of confidence. Let him take over and let him shine. Let Trey Lance go, baby. It's Trey Lance season. You need to let this man cook and don't have any distract. Don't have him have any doubt in the back of his mind, which I don't think he would because he's so mentally strong. But just cut the cord. Let him go. It's your future. It's Mrs. Lance, baby boy. And I think you got to let him roll. And you got to let him roll. And by getting rid of Jimmy, you make that commitment. 100%, this is our guy. And not only for the team, for the locker room, for all the players to say, okay, Trey Lance is our guy. The coaches are telling me, Trey Lance is our guy. That was what I would do. But again, I'm not Kyle Shanahan. I'm not John Lynch. They have a plan. I'm going to sit back and see how it goes. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Ha! When is the next time they practice? They practice again next week. Monday is a day off, of course, because it's Memorial Day weekend. So we have an extended weekend. They come back Tuesday. Open practice is Wednesday to the media. The media will be there Wednesday. And then Friday is their final day of practice next week. And then they have 3 days again the following week. And then they take a little break. And then they come back on June 13th through the 15th for mandatory minicamp. And then they are off to Cancun or wherever they want to go until the end of July for training camp. So next week, the week after that, and the weekend. So the next 3 weeks they have practice. But next week, practice starts on Tuesday. Media coverage is Wednesday. The media only gets to be there once a week for OTAs. They used to have a lot more media access, but COVID ruined everything. So, yeah. Take a couple more questions here. Let's see. We talked about this yesterday. Fell says, your thoughts on players calling out Grant Cohn. To me, that just showed that this team unified and they kind of bonded together on that whole situation. They're tired of Grant calling players out, and they use this Kinlaw situation as their opportunity to kind of rally against each other. It was a brotherhood moment, and I think that players are tired of his shit. That's what it was. I mean, again, I have nothing personal against Grant, and I said this last night. I think he does a great job with his content creating. He knows what he's doing. He gets a lot of views, a lot of engagement. But as a reporter, team reporter, and then a YouTube kind of personality, it's hard to mix those two worlds, and he's doing that. and he gets called out, and he got called out. And I think that maybe this might change the way he kind of runs things. Again, he knows what he's doing as a content creator, but as a reporter, you kind of blurring those lines, and it's hard, and I don't think players respect that because it's like George Kittle said. He says, look, as a reporter, you're giving the opportunity of a lifetime to come in and talk to pro athletes. And I think some of them they get rubbed the wrong way. The players don't want to be shitted on and hated and talked negatively. They want positive. Now, again, not saying that all of them are right, and I'm not saying that we can't sit here and criticize players because again, we do it all the time. We sit here and say, oh, okay, this player needs to improve on this and that. There's a time and a place, and I just think that Grant's the type of guy that does it with a purpose in mind of I want to get engagement in this, and the players are mad. And I think the one comment that set all the players off was when Grant says, I want to retire off this. If one of those guys puts their hands on me, I can become a millionaire and be set for life. But now I got to keep working. Whether it was a joke or not, I think the players took that and they did not like hearing that. They did it. They thought that was shitty to them. So ultimately, I think it was a cool moment for all the players to kind of bond together and then get unified them. Again, you could sit here and defend Grant. You could defend Kinlaw. We've talked about that enough. I'm not here to talk about that anymore. But I do think that it was a good moment where the players rallied around each other, and that strengthened them. I think that's good because they all kind of feel the same. It's gonna be weird when Grant goes back in that room when they have the next press conference and see what his questions are. That is gonna be must see TV. I cannot wait to hear what he says. So I see a lot of people that are upset at how Grant handled the situation. They've been saying it for years. People have wanted Grant, media status to be revoked for years. So this kind of put a little light on that. But I do think it was cool to see all the players kind of support a player. Sometimes players don't want to. They don't want to have their voice heard. And this time they did. They stepped up. They all came out and they voiced their opinions, whether you agree with them or not. It was good to see them support a fellow teammate. In my eyes, I think so. My man says Kinlaw is looking like a straight monster. 8 sacks for him. I hope so. I hope Kinlaw uses this moment as the absolute fuel to his fire and takes off. I hope he tears it up. I'm pulling for Kinlaw, man. He's had a bad deck of hands. Not just in the NFL, his whole life. He's grew up through a struggle, right? He was homeless. We know the story that we all heard on draft, during the draft and everything. But even when he got to the NFL, they traded away DeForest Buckner, and everybody expects him. Oh, he has to replace DeForest Buckner. A lot of pressure on him. They didn't have OTAs and minicamp and all that stuff his rookie season because it was the COVID year. Injuries along that line. Nick Bosa got hurt that year. A lot of players got hurt that year. And it put a lot of unfair pressure on the kid, and then, he had the injuries, and then last year his whole season was kind of decimated by injuries. So I feel like of course he has some criticism, and he should have it because he's a pro athlete. People are going to criticize him. Some of it I feel wasn't warranted. He's only in his third season, so it's hard to sit there and say he's like a terrible player. He hasn't really had the opportunity because of injuries, and now hopefully he's healthy. He looks healthy. He looks motivated. I want him to come out and prove everybody wrong, prove Grant Crone wrong. And he even Kinlaw said, the thing that I really took away from Kinlaw was he said, look, if I suck this year, if I'm terrible this season, come for my neck and don't let me live it down. Like he said, you can talk trash on me if I have a bad season. He said that. So honestly, at the end of the day, he knows he has to step up. He knows he has to take accountability and go out there and do what he has to do. So he just doesn't want anybody to remind him. Of course he knows. Like when you struggle in something, you don't need the extra reminder. You know it for a fact. But hopefully he uses this as motivation. So we'll take one more question and we'll bounce out. My man Russell Garcia says, Kinlaw said what the players were thinking. Absolutely. It's kind of like he was the voice of the players. I think he said what players have been wanting to say for years. He just had the balls to do it. He really had, he came out and said stuff that players have probably been thinking for a long time. I've never seen a reporter and a player get into that big of a fight. That was like Kinlaw finally he broke, bro. Maybe his his anger limit's not that great. Maybe his tolerance to bullshit's not that high. Again, he snapped. It's human nature. He had emotions, and he let those emotions get to him. And whether you agree with it or not, he snapped, bro. And he didn't let Grant Cohn be the bully. He didn't let him be the bully. Now, whether you like the way he handled it or not, that's on you. But he stood up. He stood up for himself. He's a human being. He stood up for himself. I always tell my daughter, If someone bullies you, stand up for yourself. And the way he talks is the way he talks. Some people didn't like it. Oh, he was unprofessional. That's how he talks. That's Javon Kinlaw, raw and uncut. That's Javon Kinlaw, man. That's him. That's his voice. You can't tell him how to talk. You can't tell him to talk like, "Hello, Grant Cohn. I do not like the way you attacked me, pure sir. Please do not do that." He's gonna fucking come at you and tell you the way he wants to tell you in his voice. And that's Javon Kinlaw for you. Ladies and gentlemen, we got one more question, as promised, and then we're gonna call it a night. Um, this is the final question. This is a good question, and we're gonna end it with this question. Thoughts on the Trey Lance, Brandon Ayuk question, or connection, sorry. Thoughts on the Brandon Ayuk, Brandon Ayuk, Trey Lance connection. I'm all over. I can't think straight. Brandon Ayuk, Trey Lance connection. 2 words. I'm hyped. I'm hyped. I can't wait. Brandon Ayuk has been waiting for Trey Lance to be this quarterback since last year when they drafted Trey Lance. They trained last year and they trained again this year. Like, you could tell, like, just when they were talking to Brandon Ayuk this week in his press conference, and he was talking about Trey Lance, you could tell he was like, I'm happy to see Trey Lance on the field. He specifically said, I'm happy to see Trey Lance on the field. You could tell, man, he's so hyped up. He's happy. I haven't seen Brandon Ayuk like this happy since he's been on the team. Like, I saw a big difference. Like, Brandon Ayuk mindset looks so clear. He looks so much bigger, stronger, of course. 2 years on the off season training. This is his 3rd year. He get an NFL weight room. He's bulked up. Maybe I need to go to NFL weight room. I'll be looking bulked up Raj. I'll be looking like Brandon Ayuk one day. Maybe. I got to be careful, though. I got a heart condition. But no, anyways, Brandon Ayuk, man, he just looks so happy. And I think these 2 guys are going to be such a fun duo. Like, Brandon Ayuk hasn't had a quarterback that can stretch the field like Trey Lance. He hasn't had a guy that can hit him on those routes that, he specializes. Like, this is a different quarterback, of course. And I think Brandon and Trey Lance, man, their chemistry, you could already tell they just have such a good chemistry. Whenever Trey Lance posts something, Brandon Ayuk's in the comments or he reposts it. When Brandon Ayuk posts something, same thing with Trey Lance. He's always commenting or post. Like, they have this vibe. You could already tell. Like, these 2 guys are going to be an absolute vibe. Like Kittle and Kittle and Jimmy Garoppolo, how they had that like bromance, and it was like this cool little duo they had, and it was like, okay, these guys love each other. Like, these guys are BFFs. Trey Lance and Brandon Ayuk give me that vibe. They give me that Kittle Garoppolo vibe. I get that vibe, like these like homie vibes from Trey Lance and Brandon Ayuk, like Batman and Robin. It's Batman and Robin, dude. Like, Trey Lance and Brandon Ayuk are Batman and Robin, and I fucking can't wait. I'm telling you, it's gonna be whoo to the roof, man. It's gonna be a fun duo. So my expectations are sky high for those 2 guys. They can't wait to play together, and I think their chemistry is going to be so good on the field. It's an explosion. You're absolutely right. Trey and Ayuk equal explosion. To the moon! They love each other. Yeah, it's 100%. They love each other. They are so hyped to be on the same team together. So I'm hyped. I'm excited. But I also am out of time. I got to go. I love to do this. I would continue to do this for another hour if I had more time. But I got to bounce out, go pick up my daughter, or she's going to cry and be like, where are you at? I got to go pick up my daughter. I love you guys. Thank you for the support. Appreciate the platform you're giving me. And real quick, before we leave, do not take pictures of Deebo at the airport. No more. No more pictures of Deebo at the airport. Y'all copy? Stay blessed. Have a good night. I love you guys so much. Take care. Have a good and safe Memorial Day weekend. Have a good day, but also have a good weekend. Have a great Memorial Day weekend. I hope everybody has a blessed weekend. Take care of yourselves and take care of your loved ones. Appreciate you so much. Have a good rest of your night. Take care, everybody. I love you.